you have a strong passion and emphasis on trying to provide more opportunities for women in sports.
That's why my approach is different, you know what I mean? Because I've seen it. You know, for me, I feel like the NFL, NBA, you know, the guys that's been in the game longer than me, they got that down, you know, pack. But nobody's focusing on WNBA and women's sports, where women are actually more marketable than men. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's not even crazy saying that, because if you look at it, even like influencers, like the women killing it. Like the beauty industry, the #1 leading industry out here. So I looked at it like this. I know it's a problem, you know what I mean? And I see, like, if I do this right now with women, this can take me further than anything, because I'm like, who else going to do it? You know, who else going to put their foot on the table and be like, hey, nah, I'm staying with the women and represent them. And so I'm just willing to take that, you know, responsibility and represent them, because like I said, they need it.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Rubino.
And this DJ in the building.
And you listening to the UpNUp podcast.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we doing?
I don't know, just listen.
Yes. Welcome.
What it do?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuning to the UpNUp podcast on the UpNUp network. I'm your host, Rubino.
And I'm DJ man.
What's up, man? How you doing, boss?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. You know me, man. Blessed.
I feel you.
Never stressed.
Yep.
Even if I'm stressed, I'm still blessed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
This is the freestyle right now. It's going down.
Yeah, I told y'all. I might have some for you, man. Nah, man, I'm good, man. Grateful, super grateful to be here in this very moment. Shout out to the team. Shout out to everybody in the room. The energy's right. And again, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. As I stated, this is the UpNUp podcast. This is the podcast where we're focused on cultivating culture, right?
Yep.
We do that by providing amazing stories of individuals, groups, movements, right?
Yes, sir.
The hustlers, the shakers,
everybody,
right?
man.
Those taking up space and breaking down barriers, not only for us here, but for the next generation to come, right? We got to put it down right now. And again, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the family and to the consistent family members. Shout out to y'all. Salute to y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Yep.
We love y'all. We gonna keep rocking for y'all, right? Now, getting that out the way, man, bro. You know, I'm always excited to come do these episodes, bro. It never gets old.
Yeah.
And we've been at it for a little bit of time, right?
Yep.
A little bit of time.
Yeah, just a little
Just
bit.
a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm truly excited today because we get to provide and amplify, I should say, another story that matters, right?
Yeah.
And get some insight to an industry that I think matters and is super popular, but maybe people don't really know about. And today's guest, I would say, someone who truly has been on a mission that goes beyond himself, that really emphasizes empowering the people around him. From what I've been able to see. He's definitely a true culture cultivator who's keeping everything he's doing on the up and up, right?
Yes, sir.
A little bit of insight on the brother. He represents the amazing world and exciting world of branding, sports, entertainment, as a brand partnership manager and creative director. Someone who's truly known for connecting the dots for his clients, but more so not just connect the dots. He's able to elevate them and empower them into new opportunities and really letting them write their own narratives on what it means to understand your own worth and your own value, right? Just to go a little deeper on what that means from what I've seen. And, you know, whether it's elevating pro athletes, entertainers, influencers, or even companies through his vision and work, what I'm most excited about is the journey, right?
Yes, sir.
Nobody just ends up where they're at, right? They got to get there. In order to get there, they got to go through a journey, and we're super excited to learn more about this brother's journey today. So without further ado, let's just get straight to it, man. Our guest is none other than the great connector himself, Key Frager. Can we get a round of applause?
Yeah.
Give it up.
That's a good intro right there.
Yeah, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. No, it's a pleasure to have you, bro. Right on time, right?
Yeah, right on time. Listen, everything happened for a reason, so I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. Nah, definitely, bro. Definitely. Well, just to get things started with every episode, we always start off with a quote of the day. Get the vibe right, get the convo started, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Brother man, what you got for us today?
All right, man.
Man of the quotes right here.
Let's go.
Quote of the day.
The quote of the day today is, one of the truest tests of integrity is its blunt refusal to be compromised.
Can you run that back one more time?
I got you. So the quote is, one of the truest tests of integrity is its blunt refusal to be compromised.
I like that one.
That's a bar.
Who's that quote by?
So it's a Nigerian writer. by the name of I might butcher her name, but it's Chinua Achebe. Yeah.
Okay. I like that, bro.
Yeah.
I really like that because the refusal part,
Mm-hmm.
refusal to compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Stand on what you stand on.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
I like that, bro. And then, I mean, for anybody out there who's chasing their dreams or going after some,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to refuse a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, what?
You know what I mean?
Listen,
Yeah.
you got to. That's gonna happen around for the journey alone. Like
Yeah.
you're refusing a lot.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man.
Mm-hmm.
So Key, man, you know, we got a lot to get to in terms of your journey. You know, you've came a long way to get to where you're currently at. But I did kind of want to get your thoughts on, I mentioned in the intro, you know, you connect a lot of dots,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's a popular phrase, dot connector. We hear that a lot, right?
Yeah.
But from your point of view, I guess, how would you say, not just connecting the dots, but like ensuring that the dots that are being connected are secured? Like, what is your take on that and just that phrase in terms of what that means, what that represents?
I think that just represents like really figuring out what makes sense for it all. You know, like for me, you know, if I'm working with anybody, any athletes, any influencers, I'm really taking a look at their brand and the company's brands and figure out where's the synergy at. Because it got to make sense. And I feel like that's with anybody, you know, whether it's relationships, you want to make sure the synergy is on point. You know what I mean? Because if not, that thing going to crumble and it's a whole nother ball game. You know what I mean? So connecting the dots and making sure it makes sense for everybody. So at the end of the day, we all could win. We all could eat. That's what I look at the most. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not about the money. It's about the energy. You know what I mean? Because the energy going to make the money happen. So,
That's real.
Yeah. For real.
No, yeah. The reason I brought that up is because, like, you know, I see that a lot where people try to connect. They kind of like forcefully connect dots.
yeah, nah.
And it doesn't.
And you
really
can tell.
work. Yeah.
You can tell when it's forced. You know what I mean? Like, I hate forcing, you know what I mean, things. Like, say, even with certain athletes, there's certain athletes that I have right now that I'm working with, I wouldn't pair them with certain brands because it don't make sense. You know what I mean? Because the energy going to be off. Like, you want people to come in situations where they comfortable and they feel comfortable. You know, whether they talking, like John Wall, on their podcast they actually had, when he was on there, he was talking about how, like, he don't do podcasts with a lot of people. He had to get on with somebody that he felt comfortable being around to talk about with the real that everybody wanted to hear. So that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's
Alignment.
real, bro.
Alignment, man. That's real.
So I just want to take it back and talk about your upbringing, where you from, your early life. So if you want to touch on that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm from the D.C., Maryland area, you know, PG County.
Hey,
You know,
represent.
PG
Shout 'em
County,
out.
Maryland, you know. So, man, it started off, man, like I said, I grew up in the PG area, D.C. area, played with the D.C. Assault Team Takeover. If you're from the DMV area, then you know exactly, you know, who that is. And, you know, I always, like I said, I was known for hooping, playing basketball. My dad hooped, my brother hooped, you know what I mean? So we come from that hooping family, and which I thought that was my ticket out, which it was. You know, it helped me a lot. Like, where I grew up from, it was a lot of, like, you know, same story like everybody here, where it's like a whole bunch of violence. You're around it, you know, you got uncles, family members, friends that's around that area in that neighborhood. But when you hoop, that was like your, you know, your getaway a little bit. So just to kind of like fast forward, you know, I grew up playing, and had an opportunity to, you know, go further my career in college. And that's when things kind of like switched up. Like I said, I thought my mindset was hooping. That was it. I didn't have no other nothing, no other dreams.
It was just like one
hooping.
dimensional.
That's one dimensional.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Which I talk about now. It's like you gotta have that plan B because you never know what happened. But I went into a situation where, you know, I was getting recruited, then had the SAT score, you know, to go Division I, and so and to my ACL twice.
Oh man,
I had the D Rose. You know what I mean? Pulled it, you know, twice. You know what I mean? But the crazy part is I bounced back from it. And a lot of people thought I wasn't. It's like I'm talking about coaches stopped recruiting me, everything. I watched that happen. And I had to go JUCO. I ended up going to Brown Mackie College in Kansas. And a lot of people know if you go JUCO, the real bump is in Kansas and Texas, right? A lot of people go to JUCOs out there. And I had an opportunity to go out there. I was doing my thing, but I had a situation where the coaches was not showing me no love.
Yeah.
And I figured it's a lot of people that's like that. There's people in the league right now where they get in situations where it's like the right fit but wrong timing. You know what I mean? Where I'm talking about like no playing time, no nothing. So me coming from where I'm coming from, where I'm like, oh, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I'm hooping, I'm doing my thing, to not playing and it was out of my control. It wasn't like I wasn't doing my thing. I was hooping, but coaches wasn't just doing no showing love, and then had to go through a coaching change. And instead of transferring, sticking it out.
Yeah.
After that, I had was lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that forced me to figure out, okay, what is it that I like to do? You know, what else do I like to do? Which I knew I was real creative. I knew I was good at other things, but I didn't know what exactly that was.
Yeah.
I remember I ended up leaving, you know, school. I went back home. I'm talking about eviction notice on the door with Mom Dukes. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, it's real. It's real now.
Yeah.
I need to figure out what's next.
It comes at you fast. It's crazy because I was watching the Last Chance U series
it's
on
real.
Netflix. And
I love that, bro.
And dope. Watching that, hearing what you just said, it was like, I see that. You know, your story just looks similar to a lot of those guys' stories in that show. But kind of going back to, you know, your upbringing out there in DC, in the Maryland DMV area. Like, what were some of the early influences, I guess, that you can look back on that kind of shaped you in terms of who you are, that allowed you to just keep trying? Because you said you had to bounce back from adversity and whatnot. And I really feel like a lot of people have moments in their early life that kind of shape them, or people that encourage them and support them. So did you have stuff like that?
Yeah, I think for me, it was just like I said, my dad, you know what I mean? He went through the same situation. So I watched him, you know, go through that. They had me early. You know, my mom being as strong as she is. So not only that, just like I said, I had coaches and other people that had similar stories, you know what I mean, that made it out. You know what I mean? I watched like Jeff Green and them that come from the DC, Maryland area, like make it out from the same background. You know what I mean? It's Quinn Cook. It's plenty of more different guys that I watched. So that was always like motivation for me. It was like, once I get a chance to leave, I'm gone. You know, home is home, you know, but I feel like in order for you to really like figure out who you are and get straight to it, like you gotta leave home a little bit. You know what I mean? But like I said, I love where I come from though, because like I said, it made me tough. It made me mentally strong. It made me prepared for anything. You know what I mean? That I feel like that's coming my way. So if it wasn't for home, I wouldn't change anything. You know what I mean? So that's straight like that.
No, it's good. I just always think reflecting back is good because it really brings more clarity to why you are the way you are now.
For sure.
And what you're doing now. So that's dope.
And I had to fall in love with my story. You know what I mean? I feel like for me, at one point, I didn't love my story as much. I was like, dang, I'm a hooper that didn't make it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I got to figure out exactly, you know, who I am. And then after a while, once I started seeing, like, really taking a deep dive into who I am and, like, what I did to overcome a lot of different things, I was like, I fell in love with it. You know what I mean? But that's my advice to anybody, man. Fall in love with your story.
I love that, bro.
That's real.
You know, you can get lost.
I love that, bro. Know your story, then fall in love with it.
Yeah, fall in love with it.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you the narrator of this whole thing. You know, you got the pen to that. So if it's a page that you don't like, you could ball it up all the way. You know what I mean? But like I said, you gotta really love where you come from.
Yeah, I love that, bro. I love that. That's great.
Yeah. So, well, how'd you balance being like a student athlete when you were when you're getting recruited? Plus, it's like you're fighting the injuries, but you're still in school. So what was that like?
I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely tough, bro. You gotta think about it because there's a lot of people that story worse than mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That come from certain situations where, moms back home can't pay the rent or people can't, they don't got food on the table.
Yeah.
So it's like having to balance that with trying to perform to school. That's a lot. But for me, I just always stayed mentally strong. And then, like I said, I made sure to call different people and had conversations with people back home and stay connected so that my head is on straight, even when I wasn't playing, when I know I should. You know what I mean? Like, it was situations where I had to really cry and was like, bro, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. I'm about to transfer. Like, it was a lot of that.
Yeah.
But I knew that I had to stay focused in school. You know what I mean? I had to get my degree because, like I said, for where I come from, nobody really had, really had that.
Yeah.
Except for my dad. My dad had a degree, but everybody else was kind of like trying to figure it out. It's bigger than, it was bigger than just me. And like I said, anything that I went through, any adversity, I was like, nah, it's deeper than this. I know I can get past this. So
I was crazy. On my way over here earlier today, I was bumping this song by Hit Boy, and he had a line where he was like, he said, I still kept a winning mentality, even and then stayed involved, even when they weren't playing my demos. Like, it was something like that.
Yeah, that's
and
real.
it's like, it's like you got to stay involved, even and keep that winning mentality, even when you're not necessarily getting what you want out of the situation.
For sure.
I
Can't
love
let
that,
it break you at all.
Yeah, I love that, bro. Now kind of veering into, I guess, coming out of college, and kind of getting your foot in the door or get your feet wet, so to speak, in terms of the industry of branding, marketing, sports. I did read that you had some internship experiences that obviously gave you some good kind of groundwork with teams such as the Clippers, LA Kings, UCLA. There's a few there, but can you just talk about kind of like how that entry point happened for you? Like when did it click?
For sure. So like I said, when I left school, you know, I was trying to figure out what exactly I was about to do. I knew I had a degree in marketing, but marketing is so broad, it's like you could do it with anything. That's that's actually why I went into it, because I was like, oh, everybody need marketing, you know, some type of form. So I was trying to figure out what I want to do, and I was like, if I can't make it to the league playing, I'm still trying to make it. You know what I mean? Some way, somehow. You know what I mean? So I was like, I want to work for the NBA. You know, I want to work for an NBA team. You know, the closest team to me was obviously the Washington Wizards. So I was like, if I get a chance to work with them, that'd be great. So I was on LinkedIn, and I was like trying to find opportunities, because I never did an internship in college at all. You know what I mean? Nothing. So I was trying to find opportunities, and I seen an opportunity to go to this program called Accelerated Sports Career Academy in downtown LA. I had to write a essay, and I had to pick the topic. The crazy part is I picked the topic on why college athletes should get paid. You know, they getting paid now. So
that's
they
crazy.
seen that, they accepted it, and it was like, look, you could come, but the only thing is you gotta pay for housing in LA.
Damn.
So I'm like,
fresh out of college.
I'm like, how am I about to get this done? You know what I mean? So luckily my dad, you know what I mean, he worked in like logistics, and he was working in like this travel warehouse company. You know, they was bringing in a couple thousand a week, and I was like, I'm just gonna work this little month, and then I'm gonna save everything, and I'm gonna go. I did that, and I went to LA, and from there, you know what I mean, I got the experience of working with LA Clippers, LA Kings, and UCLA marketing team. So that introduced me to something totally different. That was my first time to the West Coast too. You know what I mean? So it was like, I'm so hungry. I'm like, I'm connecting with everybody. Like I don't care who it is, whatever you got going on, what you need to be like, what you need help with. I'm doing all that. So when I got there, I instantly started making connections. You know what I mean? I had my first job opportunity. I got 3. It's funny that I'm in Seattle now, but I had 3 different opportunities. It was to work with the Seattle Storm, Chicago Bulls, or go back home to Washington Wizards and work with DC, you know, work in the DC area. I chose back home. So I was there for that 6 months, rolled that out, and I was like, got my first opportunity to work with the Wizards, and then COVID happened.
Oh my God,
man. Bro, I was talking about like as soon as I got the opportunity.
So this was literally right before COVID.
Right before COVID.
Wow.
So I only worked with the Wizards for like a month.
Damn.
Legit, like got my foot in the door.
And what role were you going to be playing with them?
So I was gonna be a part of their marketing team. So that's helping with like their whole entire like with different players and then, you know, the team, all the team stuff with team marketing deals. I was gonna be in that space around it a lot. You know, so I was hyped, like, oh yeah, this is really around
the
it.
roller coaster.
Yeah, for sure.
Emotionally, because I'm like, I know that feeling where it's like, man, I've been working for this, boom, and then.
Bro, as soon as they told me no, I was like shook, because I was like, dang, I did everything I needed to do to get to this point. And then the opportunity, you know, they just got taken away from me, and I was trying to figure out what to do next. But the good thing is, I was watching them let go of people, you know, that was there for a long time. You know what I mean? So what I did was I started thinking about, okay, what's next? You know, because now I can't just sit down. You know, they was like, hey, you could get your job back. We just got to figure out what's going on. And I was like, nah, that's not good enough. That's not secure enough for me. So one thing I knew is that I was like, I know a lot of athletes, you know what I mean, from the DMV, from Kevin Durant, Michael Beasley, all these guys that come from the DMV area. I'm like, a lot of these people don't do marketing at all. A lot of, you'd be surprised how many athletes don't have a logo, how many don't have, they not doing no commercials, they not doing brand deals where they should be taking advantage of that. Steve Francis, you know what I mean, that's from the DC area. He was telling me that I should be a sports agent, but I was like, I didn't want to be a sports agent. I wanted to be a sports marketing agent. So it's a big difference. It's almost like Rich Paul and Maverick Carter. You know, 2 different people, but they both play a big role.
Different roles,
you know, in LeBron James, you know, career. So I was like, where my interest was like on the Maverick Carter side. You know, how he getting it done. So I was like, I just need to jump out there. Mind you, I didn't know what my contract should look like. I didn't know what nothing should look like at first. I just jumped, and I was like, if I get one athlete, I know for a fact more gonna come. I was asking people that I knew. They was like, I don't know yet. You know what I mean? You know, I'm so new. They was like, I don't know.
What's that like? What's that pitch like for you? Like at the time, like because you first of all, it's like the audacity.
Yeah,
you got to have that. That's important.
Sure.
Like you got to have the audacity to be like, nah, I should be doing this.
Yeah.
But even though I haven't done it, I'm gonna do it. You know, like. But what was that like? Like early on?
Man, early on when I first was trying to find an athlete to work with, mind you, I was reaching out to people that I knew.
Yeah.
They was like, I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, you know, I know you in the league now. I'm trying to just figure out how I can help with the marketing. And mind you, I was trying to do everything for free too.
Yeah.
I wasn't charging nothing. I was like, let me get it this way.
Yeah.
And then after a while, money gonna come. So I was like, let me just kind of, you know, just jump out there, help you with certain things. They was like, I don't know, bro. You know, you just started. I don't know.
Yeah.
The opportunity wasn't happening yet. So what I did was shout out to Daryl Taylor. You know, he played with the Seattle Seahawks now.
Yep.
And when I reached out to him when he first got drafted. And I wasn't even in Seattle yet, but I came to Seattle a few times. And I was telling them a few spots to try food-wise. Because I was like, hey, bro, you know, Seattle got some good little food spots. I was letting him know. I told him about Emerald City Smoothie, right? And he ended up going to go try it. Mind you, he left me on red. He ain't even say nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm like, it's all good. I ain't really tripping.
Yeah.
He replied back and was like, bro, thank you. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I went to go try it. It was good. Tell me why the moment when he said that, I was already pitching Emerald City Smoothie like he was my client already. I was like, look, I got a guy.
Damn.
I got a guy. He just got drafted. He knew, you know, how I was trying to think how we could work with each other. How can I get a marketing deal where he create his own smoothie and put it on you guys' menu? One thing I know, Seattle love their Seahawks. You know what I mean? So they was like, yeah, let's do it. They was like, how much? I was like, I don't know yet. You know what I mean?
I wasn't ready for this part.
Yeah. I wasn't even ready. And what I did was I went to Steve Francis, you know what I mean, that I called, you know what I mean, and he was in the NBA. You know, a lot of people know who he is.
Oh yeah, legend.
Where
legend for sure.
you know, he told me, I asked him, I said, when you did your deal with like Reebok and certain commercials and stuff, how much did you charge? You know what I mean? And he kind of broke it down to me on how that should look like, what that should look like. And then I just went from there and was like, all right, I pitched the number. I said, how about 5,000? They said, let's do it. I said, oh yeah, it's over. You know what I mean? So once I did that, I told Daryl about it, and he was like, oh yeah, I want to do it.
Yeah.
And from there, we started working with each other.
Wow.
And more opportunities came on after that. But that was the first one.
That was the one that was
the one that kicked it off.
I love that, bro.
That was like my first $5,000 like ever in business, where I was like, I don't know what nothing should look like yet.
Yeah.
And I just kind of jumped in it.
That's powerful, bro. That's a powerful lesson for believing in yourself, but also taking initiative to just saying like thinking steps ahead. You know what I mean? Kind of knowing where you want to go, being intentional and all that good stuff. Because you know, to have Emerald City already kind of on the line prior to knowing whether this dude is going to work out or not. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a forward thinking type of mentality that is important.
And I just looked at it like this. I was like, if they say no, then cool. That's cool. I heard no's before. You know what I mean? Like I was like, that ain't going to really hurt me. And then I was like, the best thing could happen. He could hit his deal and be like, oh yeah, I want to do it, because who wouldn't want to have their own smoothie? You know what I mean? Like, or have their own commercial or something. Like that's big. Yeah. You know, especially when you come from like where we come from.
Yeah,
you know
and you're presenting something that they didn't know existed at the time. Yeah.
And he wasn't doing, like I said, he doing great now. You know what I mean? But like at the beginning, you know, he wasn't doing no marketing at all. Yeah. And I was like, it's wide open. It's a wide open lane. And
I love that.
Winning it.
I love that.
So did you take like did you learn some of the lessons you learned from like interning, and you kind of like applied it? Because you know how you said you kind of didn't know which exactly you were doing, but did you like take some of the lessons from there and kind of apply it?
Nah, you know what's crazy? So with me doing the internships, that was completely different. It was more like on the NBA team side. This wasn't even just you brand manager side. This totally different, different ball game. But what I did do, shout out to Polo Kerber, you know what I mean, represent Nate Robinson, a lot of different guys. He was here in the Seattle area at Jamal Crawford Court with Infamous Casey and them, right? They was shooting like a commercial. I just so happened to reach out to him and was like, bro, you know, man, I'm trying to learn from you. You know what I mean? He was like, hey, pull up on me at the court. Yeah. Man, I was in Portland. I drove. I was like, damn, get it. You know, man, I'm going to come down there and meet him. From there, he gave me so much free game. I'm talking about, like, bro, so much game to the point where I was like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely in the right space, because he doing it on a higher level than me. You know what I mean? Real respected. You know what I mean? A lot of people know who he is, working with Tracy McGrady, and it's crazy. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm around the right person. You know what I mean? And that's how I would do it if somebody asked me, you know what I mean, can they get some help? You know what I mean? gave me a whole contact list, how my contract should really look. Like broke down the whole business for me, and from there, you know, I did it my own way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And
dope.
it was opportunities where he was like, I felt like he was giving me too much free game, and I was like, nah, bro, I actually let me see if I could do it for myself. You know what I mean? He respected that because it was like, I hate when people just give me anything.
Yeah.
I've earned everything I got.
Yeah.
So,
but that's crazy. You say that because when you said I feel like he's giving me too much free game. What I've come to realize is a lot of people on that level in terms of, I guess you could say success, or they just have a lot of experience, or they're established in this thing that they're doing. They're just waiting for people to like ask them questions sometimes and like and pay it forward. You know what I mean? Because they just got so much to give, and sometimes they don't have an opportunity to do so. So I think that's a good lesson in terms of reaching out to people. And,
for sure.
But again, being intentional, like you kind of already knew what you wanted to do, and you kind of were already doing it. And so I think it does make it easier for someone to notice that in you, and then they want to just pour into you. So,
and that's crazy you said that, because that's exactly what he said. He was like, bro, you already kind of in it. You did your first deal without even knowing how to do it. You know what I mean? It's how to set it up. So after that, once he seen that I was serious and I was actually in it, only had one client, you know what I mean? But he was like, nah, bro, I got you. You know what I mean? Anything that you need. Yeah. You know what I mean? Here's a full contact list of all the companies. Yeah. I'm talking about like from Forbes to all these different places. I was like, oh yeah, this is what this is what I needed. You know what I mean? So
that's good, bro. That's good.
So well, for the people listening, like, how important is it to like have mentors like that and people you could like reach out to and ask them questions at any time? Like Steve Francis, for example, how you brought him up. Like, how important is that?
Man, that's super important. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, you know, you need to be around people that's doing it on a higher level than you. You know, you can't be the best person in the room. You know what I mean? At all. And I always looked at it like that. I was like, I need to be around people that's somewhere that I'm trying to get to. You know what I mean? I always looked at it like that. You know what I mean? So having a mentor and actually, you know what I mean, ask some questions. I'm not scared to ask no questions. I ain't scared to look dumb, nothing. Like, I'm gonna ask because I want to know. And like, you know, put it in my own plan. You know what I mean? But having a mentor, I feel like everybody should have one, because everybody asks me now, like, how do you get in? How you get in? I'm like, yo, you need to reach out to people that's in the same lane as you. Yeah. Or somewhere where you like, I'm trying to get to that, because I didn't know that could happen. You know what I mean? So, and ask them questions. Do internships. Do, you know, don't be afraid. I think a lot of people be afraid to ask and afraid to feel like they gonna feel like they on somebody. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of people do that. A lot of people feel like if they ask somebody a question, they gonna feel like they on dick.
That's crazy.
That's crazy to me.
Like, bro, what you're saying is funny, because I was in a group chat the other day with the homies, and I'm talking about, I'm like, yo, it's just crazy. We live in a society where humans find it hard to acknowledge other humans or admire other humans. Like, when you just say it like that, it really does kind of mind boggle me, because I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, me personally, like, if I'm a fan, if I'm inspired by something, I'm gonna tell you straight up. You know what I mean? For real. We don't even gotta work together. I just want to let you know. You know, and I think it's crazy how we're so far removed from that type of stuff, but. Yeah, it's very
people don't
simple.
realize that could open up a door for you. You know, just by you just being, you showing, you know what I mean, you giving somebody their flowers. You know, I feel like I'm gonna give you doing something that I like and I'm inspired by. I'm gonna give you your flowers, bro. Like, that's with anybody. You know what I mean? I respect it. You know, because again, it's hard out here for a lot of people. So at the end of the day, if you doing something on a high level and I respect it, I'm gonna let you know. But people just for some odd reason feel like, oh, they can't do it. You know, they can't show everybody love, or everybody gonna look at them different. Like, nah, forget that. You gotta throw that ego out.
Man, that's what I'm saying, bro.
You know, you dictate based on your energy. That's all you control. So you know what I mean.
Even people thinking like they don't want to look dumb. Yeah. But it's like, you don't know. That's why you're asking. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're never gonna look dumb asking a question, because it's like that's you saying I don't know. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's real. I did kind of want to go from obviously your initial first deal, getting kind of your feet wet. And I'm just curious, because, you know, a lot of times people deal with like highs and lows, right?
Sure.
And consistency is the biggest key, no matter what industry you're in, right? So like for you, like, how did you kind of continue to build traction where you didn't get hung up? You know, some people, they get a big deal or something, they're like, oh, I'm chilling, I'm good. It's like, nah. How do you build on that, and like, what was your mindset moving forward?
It's so funny, because like everybody would say this, even with Polo when I met him. you know, when I started off, bro, everything was happening. I'm talking about on the ups though. Like everything was happening.
It was on the up and up?
Everything was on the up and up, you know what I mean, for real.
Well, I had to
But everything was you know, everything was just on the up, and it was happening. Different deals was getting closed. Yeah. Back to back. And then I hit a, and mind you, at the beginning, I wasn't charging nobody nothing, right? So keep this in mind. I wasn't charging nobody nothing. I was just taking 20% out of every deal I brought to the table. Yeah. You know, now I try to retain them, but at the beginning, I wasn't charging nothing. I just wanted to see if I could do it. Yeah. And I hit a point where, like, things got slow for me. I'm talking about, I'm like, hold on, I might have to get another job. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? But like I said, again, I had to really figure out what exactly my business is and do my own research and figure out, like, how can I be better at closing deals? Like, what am I doing that I'm not being able to close a deal right now? You know what I mean? I had to figure that part out, because if not, I'm about to be broke in a second. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I felt like this. I was like, that helped me in a lot of ways, because again, when I first started off, I didn't know a lot about this business like that. Yeah. I jumped in it. And I was learning on the way. Yeah. But once I started learning different things, I just started taking my craft more serious and being like, nah, if I'm really going to do this, and that's what I want to do, and I don't want to work another job, I need to really take, you know, put everything into my craft. You know, same way if it was like if I was hooping. You know what I mean? Like, put everything into my craft and like figure this thing out. You know what I mean? But I like taking L's though. You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta learn,
make
bro.
me.
You gotta learn. We were talking about this a while back, where it's like sometimes that initial eagerness is so necessary, because some people don't even have that just to get in, just to jump in. But in doing that, you might miss some things that you got to spin back and relearn and make sure you get it dialed in, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that, or they call it fine tuning. You know what I mean? So
because I got comfortable at one point. Like, I'm like, when I was closing the back to back, I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. Yeah. I started getting comfortable, started feeling myself a little bit, and I was like, I had to really look in the mirror and be like, all right, hold on, we ain't comfortable yet to where you want to be at. So I was like, let me take a step back and let me figure this thing out and really just go from there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then I started seeing, like, asking questions, how to close better, you know, doing my research. Yeah. It's all sales, you know what I mean? Yeah. And everything that you do. So I had to learn, I had to be better at that.
Yeah. And I think that's another topic that we were talking about was like professionalism. And like and responsibility, where it's like, you know, we all do things that we enjoy because we want to do them. We're choosing what we want to do and we enjoy it. We're good at it. It's fun. It's lit, all that. But sometimes in doing that, you lose sight of the responsibility aspect of it. Sure. And I think that's the part that sometimes kicks in maybe a little later, when you're like, oh, damn, this I am responsible for this. Yeah. I got to look at myself a little differently, even though I'm getting shit done and I'm executing. So I just think that's a great message for people listening, in terms of, like, you know, you're gonna find success, but you know, it's about the craft, and I like that.
Don't get comfortable. That's it right there.
No, for sure, for sure.
So I know you kind of mentioned this earlier, but like, what's your approach when you're trying to connect athletes and brands? Because I know you did talk about like you seeing a good fit for them, or.
So again, my approach, like I said, the first thing I'm doing is, like, I'm doing a brand audit on I'm doing it on the company and I'm doing it on the athletes. But like, because the first thing I got to figure out is if we are a good fit. You know, if me and the athlete or me and the influencer not a good fit, it won't work, because, and I seen that at the beginning. For me, it was like I was trying to get everybody in. You know what I mean? Again, like I said, I had to learn. You know, I was getting everybody in, and I was like, some of these people, communication skills bad. I can't work with somebody that's like that. You know what I mean? So if we don't fit like that, then it's dead. You know, we can't do it. But like I said, I do a brand audit. I figure out where you come from. I'm taking your story and really landing on the table and figuring out who are you? You know what I mean? Some of these people don't even know who they is. You know what I mean? I ask that question, like, who are you outside of your sport? A lot of people can't answer that question. You know what I mean? But I started picking certain things that I know they got a story in, and where I could take it and amplify it. You know what I mean? So. And that's where I started looking for brands, because some brands got their brand message out here, and I'm like, if it makes sense, you know what I mean? Yeah. If their brand message makes sense with this athlete's brand, I'm connecting them. You know what I mean? So whether it's a smoothie shop, whether it's a coffee shop, I'm trying to make sure that the athlete and that person is a great fit, and not just because of some money on the table. Like, screw the money, because you can make more money, you know what I mean, down the road, but
it gotta make sense.
It gotta make sense.
Yeah.
So
no, it gotta make sense to make sense. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
I told you I'll drop another bar for you. Right, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Speaking of coffee shops, and this is, we were talking on the phone last week about how you have a strong passion and emphasis on trying to provide more opportunities for women in sports.
For sure.
Right. Most recently, you did a collaboration, or you were part of a collaboration with Imani Bush and Cafe Avol.
Yep.
Shout out Doobie, shout out Cafe Avol.
Yeah, shout out Cafe Avol.
But yeah, just talk about kind of what you see in terms of, I guess, where the industry is lacking in terms of providing for more women.
Yeah. So that's why my approach is different. You know what I mean? Because I've seen it. You know, for me, I feel like the NFL, NBA, you know, the guys that's been in the game longer than me, they got that down. You know, Pat. But nobody's focusing on WNBA and women's sports, where women are actually more marketable than men. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's not even crazy saying that, because if you look at it, even like influencers, like the women killing it. Like the beauty industry, the #1 leading industry out here. So I looked at it like this. I know it's a problem, you know what I mean? And I see, like, if I do this right now with women, this can take me further than anything, because I'm like, who else going to do it?
Yeah.
You know, who else going to put their foot on the table and be like, hey, nah, I'm staying with the women and represent them.
Yeah.
Because the WNBA, for example, they don't get paid enough. We all know that. So I'm like, how can we help change that? You know what I mean? How can we help start getting the marketing deals, brand opportunities where now, you know, they making the extra bag, you know, outside of their sport. 'Cause that's my goal. I'm trying to make you make a lot more money than you are doing on the court. You know what I mean? So I'm just willing to take that, you know, responsibility and represent them, because like I said, they need it.
Yeah, and I think, and I also think, like, you're educating in the process. Yeah, like, you're empowering, you're providing opportunities, but you're also, like, educating them who may not know how to go get it themselves or understand this even exists. You know what I mean?
And my thing is, bro, I went to my first WNBA game last year. I've never been to a WNBA game. I've been to a college basketball game with women. Obviously, seen them play in high school, whatever, in college, but my first WNBA game, I went to it was like the LA Sparks versus somebody, I can't even think of the other team name, but it was lit.
Oh no, those games be lit.
And I'm talking about, like, it was women out there getting straight to it, getting buckets. So I was like, man, I was like, I gotta be in, you know, I gotta do this, because like I said, I don't see nobody else doing it. Nobody else is paying attention to
Somebody
it.
Gotta do it.
So I'm like, it's an open lane, and sometimes, like I said, you need that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've never been scared to jump into something where I'm like, oh, I'm the only one. I'm the only one doing it, because like I said, that's you creating the lane for more people to come in. And like I said, I want people to look more into women's sports, because that's like the new startup.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
That's real.
I like that.
That's real. I think even on the flip side of it, like, let's say, I don't know, I'm like a customer at one of these stores that you branded the athlete with, and I'm like, damn, who's that? Now I'm like, okay, she's a basketball player or volleyball player or whatever, and then I might go check out a game. You know, so you're doing the sport justice too, I think, on the flip side of that.
Yeah, same for Imani. You know what I mean? When I looked at her, nobody was paying attention to Imani Bush at all. You know what I mean? She's 6'3", from Canada. You know what I mean? Got a great look to her.
And she plays University of Washington.
Yeah, University of Washington volleyball, from Canada. You know what I mean? So it's like, a part of the Canada national team. I'm like, she got a story. You know what I mean? And I'm like, nobody paying attention to her. And then when I started working with her, I said, I seen it. You know what I mean? Already. Yeah. That's why Cafe Avol thing happened, because she said she liked coffee. Yeah. How can we connect the dots two and make it bigger than something? Where she create her own drink now. She create her own drink, and then they create her own coffee bean bag. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's going to sell, because you got to think about it. She's from Canada, and she's a part of a tribe. At home. So I'm like, you think about the online e-commerce, you know, how it's going now, that's going to be going crazy. And then it's new, because Seattle's still not really hip to the whole NIL thing. You know what I mean? So a lot of companies, I feel like, got to get involved now. This is the new way to stay afloat. You know, if you working with these athletes, it don't have to be professional athletes, because some professional athletes going to charge you. They're going to tax you a little bit, you know, to work with them. College athletes, not so much, you know what I mean? So if you working with somebody locally, and you're a local coffee shop or smoothie shop or food spot, and you got an athlete backing you up, that's helping you. So now y'all can work together, because some of the athletes might just want food. We always an athlete at one point in college where it's like, dang, sometimes you just want something, you know, something for free, some free food or whatever. If you get the athletes as part of your team now, it's gonna work for you.
I think it was kind of like what we're talking about, where it's like, sometimes you got to make the rules yourself. Because, you know, this is uncharted territory. Like, even something like the NIL, which is fairly new. You know, you kind of have to come into it with the mindset of like, all right, you know, let's kind of create something here for ourselves that makes sense. There isn't really a blueprint, so to speak. So let's create one. You know what I mean?
It's wide open. That's why I said, that's why I love the NIL now, because I feel like it give a chance for the athletes to figure out what you might want to do outside of your sport. Now, you know, a lot of these opportunities might come. Like, not everybody gonna go pro. Not everybody gonna make it to the league. But if you working with companies now, whether you working with real estate agents or you working with coffee shops, whatever, and you got a passion for something, this is an opportunity for you to really tap into that and start making money now. Where shoot, by the time you do graduate, it's a whole nother ball game for you. You know what I mean? You don't even need to go pro. Some of these people got it so down packed, they don't need it. You know, so.
Sure.
How involved would you say some of the clients are in terms of like, do they come to you with ideas now, like, or how does that work?
A lot of them sometimes it's so, like I said, you got to think about it, it's new to them as well. So they trying to figure out. A lot of these guys, they know they just been an athlete their whole entire life. They don't know what else to do, but they starting to get more involved and start thinking about like, oh, maybe I do want to have my own clothing brand, or you know, or a Key, what you think about me partnering with like a coffee shop or something. So I love when they do that because it helped me. You know what I mean? Because now I could look at it and be like, all right, we could turn this into something, and we can make this to a story. You know what I mean? That's my favorite thing to do, is pick what you like to do, what you like to do. I'm not gonna never get you a deal because of some money, like just because of some money. Nah, you gotta actually like it. You know what I mean? So if you want, even with drinks and all the supplements and stuff, you know, little bars, like if you don't like it, I'm not gonna let you promote it. You know,
got to be part of your lifestyle.
I feel that.
So any deal that I do, I make sure that the company send them like a sample or something. Let them try it, and then we could talk business. But nah, you gotta like it, because I feel like, you know, when somebody making content and they don't like something, it's too salesy. You know what I mean? Like nobody like that. So I'm like,
too scripted.
Too scripted. You know what I mean? Nah, let it be organic, authentic. You know, that's the real. You know what I mean? So, but I love when they come to me with ideas though, because like I said, it just helps me a lot.
No, that's real, bro.
I feel you, bro.
I love that.
How gratifying is it? Well, speaking of NIL deals and stuff, how gratifying is it that, like, early in your journey you wrote an essay on that, and then now you're seeing it just coming to fruition?
Right, it's crazy because it's just a part of the journey. It makes sense. You know what I mean? All this makes sense now. Like I gave myself a word, you know the word, momentum for 2023, and all of this is kind of like just coming together right now. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to keep that going. But it's crazy to think that I wrote an essay about that, because I've been thinking about it. Everybody was having conversations like, hey, this person should have got paid. Reggie Bush should have got paid. When he was at USC.
I actually did a college
you know,
presentation on the same
crazy.
thing.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, if you think about all these people that came before us, that was, you know, in college getting finessed. You know what I mean? Now there's a whole nother ball game where people really capitalizing off of what they're making. Man, you know how many families and everything would have been good right now? So man, I love it. So it's just funny to see all of it come to light now. You know what I mean? But I knew it was going to come. I said eventually it's going to happen, because there was too much going on with like people getting paid under the table, and you know, some guys couldn't have a clothing brand or do a YouTube because the NCAA was like, nah, you can't do it.
It's crazy because I just remember watching the movie Facebook for the first time, and that was when it hit me for real. I was like, this guy Mark can just go be in his dorm room, build a Fortune 500 company, and so players on the team can't go and do an endorsement deal with the local grocery store. How that makes sense? You know what I'm saying? So it's just it just doesn't make sense, but now it does. It
makes sense now, and like I said, it's gonna be around. You know, it's the new wave now. Like this. You're not. It's so serious to the point where recruits are leaving schools if you're not really taking NIL serious. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, all the companies here need to really understand the impact that you're making. It's not like, oh, we just giving kids money. Nah, it's bigger than that. It's helping you out too in a lot of ways. Because some of these guys might go pro. Imagine if Paulo, you know what I mean, if NIL was around when he was here in college. You know what I mean? Like in the Seattle area when he started out. You know how many companies would be up right now for real, just by working with him? You know what I mean? Like obviously he was that dude. He started getting some endorsement deals and stuff, but still, it's like you gotta get involved early. This is your chance to work with them before they go pro. You know, so for real.
No, I love it, man. You know, outside of kind of the work, right? Because you grind, you work hard. Sure. You know what I'm saying? But like, how do you keep a healthy balance in terms of, you know, not always being so fixated on the next deal or the next transaction or the next connection and whatnot? Because, you know, I think everybody, whoever's grinding in their own respective grind or industry, like everybody deals with that somewhat. But what works for you? How do you keep a balance?
You know what's crazy? It feel like I don't, even though I know I'm working, it feel like I don't work, because I got a passion for it and I enjoy it. And like, you got to think about my day. I don't have like my day. None of my days look the same. Every day is kind of like different. I'm talking to a lot of different people. Connecting with a lot of people inviting me certain places. So it has its perks where it's like, hey, Key, we need you to fly out here, or we need you to come, you know, here and like be with us, like have brunch. Like everything is surrounded around what I do. You know what I mean? So, but when I do want to cut that off, man, like I said, I'm definitely a homebody for
Okay.
sure. Like I like to chill. I like to listen to my music. I like to go to the beach.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And like being around the fam. And then like I said, I still hoop to this day.
Okay.
So it's like that's still my.
We gotta get
my
a run
getaway.
in
For sure.
We gotta get
Absolutely.
a run in. I got
But
some runs for you.
That's still my getaway where like I gotta block everything out because once I get back on the court, it's like nothing else even matter. You know what I mean? So that's been my getaway for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Since I was a youngin'. So yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, I love it, bro. I just think it's important to speak to the balance because, man, you know, it's a marathon.
For sure.
It's a
You
marathon.
gotta
Word
have
to
balance.
knit, man. It's a marathon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real. So, like, what advice do you have for somebody who's trying to become you, pretty much? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shoot, my advice would be don't become me. Try to be better than me. But
or that path.
don't be afraid to reach out. You know what I mean? I think, like I said, a lot of people be thinking that they can't reach out or he ain't gonna mess with me or he ain't. Nah, ask me. I'm here to ask any question. So like, if you was like, hey, Key, how can I get started? I'm gonna tell you because like I said, I don't gatekeep.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never gatekeep from anybody. You know, because I feel like I'm in a position where all of us really could win. You know what I mean? And that's what I learned from dudes that gave me the game, like Polo. Like dudes gave me game that I could have really paid for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for contact lists, it's free game. You know what I mean? So I'm doing the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do the same thing. I would never like try to attack somebody or be like, nah, I ain't gonna mess with you or like belittle you because you just starting out. Nah, because I was that person too.
Yeah,
you know
pay
what I mean?
for it.
Yeah, for sure. Like I want everybody to win. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm speaking at different things and trying to get involved, like going back home to speak at some of the high schools that I've been at, that I had a chance to play at, and let them know like I come from the same area that you come from. Not only that, I had that same mindset where it was just hooping. This is my way out, where I'm trying to show them like, hey, you could really make some good money and get a career off of just being around the game. You know what I mean? Like you just gotta one, want to do it.
Yeah.
2, ask questions, and then 3, like I said, if you a dot connector, you a dot connector.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you genuine, you can get in a lot of room just by being genuine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you gotta show up.
You gotta show up.
You gotta show up.
You gotta do the work too. That's the main part. Like the work, you ain't doing the work, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then there's a second part to that question is what advice do you got for athletes looking for deals? You know what I mean?
Right now, this the best time to really put yourself out there. All that like trying to be in behind the scenes stuff, like it's cool. There's a niche for it, you know what I mean? Because obviously we got guys like Kawhi Leonard that's quiet, but they make a brand. They made a brand out of him being a quiet. He's a fun guy. You feel me? You feel me? So
allegedly,
I feel like this the time really to, you know what I mean? You gotta find a team. I think that's the most important part is finding your team, knowing, because a lot of these guys got entourages. A lot of guys got dudes that's from the neighborhoods that's trying to be around just to be around. But like, nah, you gotta make sure your business team right. And I always talk about this like with LeBron, right? LeBron team crazy. You know what I mean? Because he put all his dudes on, but they all got a specific role where they helping him at. You know what I mean? From Maverick Carter, Rich Paul, all of them. Like his team is crazy. You know what I mean? So for my advice to any athlete is really figure out who's your team and make sure they're doing the work too. You know what I mean? And be on top of them. Don't just have yes men. You gotta have some dudes that's around your corner that's saying, nah, bro, that ain't cool, bro. You tweaking out. Don't be doing this. You gotta have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if not, you know what I mean, you getting a chance to make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could blow it quick. You know what I mean? So the best advice is really figure out your team and then, like I said, put yourself out there. Like, get your story out there.
Yeah.
We all got a story.
The story part is important, bro.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that really stuck out to me about your process is you want to, what you call it brand auditing, and and really going a deep dive and asking them who they are. And I think that's everything, bro. Nowadays, everything's so kind of surface level with social media and the way things are presented. You don't really know. You don't have the context, and I think context is important, bro. Yeah, that really connects all the dots.
For
for
sure.
people.
Like your story gonna take you further than any basket you score or any touchdown you score. Like that's where the real money at. Is in your story. But like I said, you gotta love your story though. You gotta love where you come from.
Gotta love that shit. Gotta own it.
Yeah,
Gotta own
for
it,
real.
sure.
For real. Now, man, you've been dropping a lot of gems, man, and providing a lot of wisdom, man, a lot of guidance for those listening and watching. I did kind of want to get your thoughts on kind of the future outlook. If you can kind of look ahead, what excites you for the future? Like, what are some things you got, like long-term things that excite you, immediate things?
For myself,
yeah.
Like, for me, I mean, like I said, this year was the year I really started taking my personal brand serious. Cause like I said, same for the same advice I gave with the athletes about putting yourself out there, putting your story out there. I was the same dude. I like to behind the scenes. Like, everybody just knew me like, Key, he behind the scenes. But I started talking more. I started building my TikTok up, started talking, started giving free game, and getting invited to speak at events. Anything that I got invited to speak at, I'm going to. You know, because I'm like, this is a chance for me to really use that. You know, I could repurpose everything. You know, even this. I'm gonna be able to repurpose this. You know what I mean? So I look at it like that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get invited to start speaking. I want to speak to the younger kids. Do little workshops to let them know like it's something else out here besides just your sport. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want them to see. So really just tapping back into the youth, and then really taking the women's sports thing to a whole nother level. I'm serious on that, standing on that, because it's like I know, like I see it already. You know what I mean? Without even saying too much. You know what I mean? Like I already see it, and I'm like, I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing right now to get to where I need to get to. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to stay strong on that. And, you know, whatever come my way, whether it's an L or a roadblock, you know, we're going to count it all joy. That's really it.
I love it.
That's what's up, bro.
Hell yeah.
So where can people find you on social media? Yeah,
so you can find me on IG and TikTok, Twitter, at key.frager. So real simple. I try to keep it real simple on social media. And it's actually a bar for a lot of people, because I'm like, you want something where people can easily find you. You know what I mean? So all my socials is the same. It's the same. So for that specific reason, like I need everybody to know, like, all right, we just got to put key in and we're gonna find it. You know, so yeah, that's where you can find me at.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Make sure y'all tap in. Now before we get you out of here, brother, we got one last question for you. And we ask this to every guest. So if you can, my brother, what's one word to describe what keeps you on the up and up, and why?
What's one? Hold on. Say it one more time. We got here.
Come on. What's one word to describe what keeps you on the up and up, and why?
That's a great question. I'm gonna say, I gotta think. I'm trying to get the right answer. Hold on.
Oh,
that's a good one. That's a good one though. I'm like, that's a good one though. I didn't even think about that one.
That's why we saved it for
one
last.
word for me. Yeah, no, for real. One word for me. Honestly, I'm gonna say momentum. Like I said, just because I gave that word for me for 2023, but that's one word. I'm so passionate about that, because I'm like, once you get, everybody know, once you start getting some momentum with that field, like, you know what I mean, like, and it motivates you, like, because you thinking about where you come from, you think about all the L's you took, you know, you took in like all the roadblocks you had to go through, and I'm like, you're using that to your advantage now, and once you start seeing it, it's like you gotta keep your foot on the gas. So like, not getting comfortable. So that's why momentum my word. Like I'm really so serious and passionate about that one, because I'm like, I know what it feels like to not have this or have that, or have to wait my turn. I mean, now that I waited my turn and things happening, we ain't stopping. You know what I mean? So we try and keep the foot on the gas. So that's why momentum is the word.
I love that.
So
I feel you.
I love that. I think is that the first time we got momentum?
That's the first
I think
time,
it is.
That's good. That's good.
Hell yeah.
That's good.
It's real though. That momentum's real. You the one.
Everybody felt that though. Like even for y'all, you know what I mean? Like big shout out to y'all, because what y'all got going on, you know what I mean? I didn't sat down there and watched it. I even asked. I was like, bro, I'm trying to be on there.
Yeah, for sure.
Just off the lot of game that y'all been giving, a lot of free game that y'all been giving to guests, you know what I mean, from different backgrounds. Like, it don't matter if you orange, black, white, you know what I mean? You're getting the game, you know what I mean? So and you see it growing, you know what I mean? And that's the most important part. So now y'all got that momentum now. Y'all just trying to keep it going.
Come on,
now,
man.
So.
We with you. Trust me.
For sure.
We with you on that momentum for sure.
I respect it.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that,
Thank
bro.
you, bro.
Well, man, Key, man, we appreciate you for being here, man, spending some time with us, sharing your story, obviously, and providing some valuable insight, man, to the wonderful world of branding, marketing, you know, the sports industry, and everything else you got going on, man. We're excited for what's to come. We wish you much success moving forward, man. You guys support with us here at the Up and Up always.
Always, man.
And with that being said, I think it's safe to say, man, my man, Key Frager is officially a member of the Up and Up. Can we get a round of applause, man? Come on.
Appreciate that, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
To continue supporting the podcast and the entire Up and Up movement, be sure to rate, review, like, and subscribe.
As well as follow us at _the Up and Up on all social media platforms to stay connected with everything the Up and Up has coming your way.
Thanks for listening, and until the next one,
Keep it on the Up and Up.